Hey guys, I just want to make this really quick video. So when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, I made videos about him. And since then, I've done more research on like things that he said and stuff. I mean, I had done research on some things that he said even after he died, but I was just so filled with like dread and grief over, the fact that this even happened in America, which we're supposed to be a democracy. We're supposed to stand for free speech. And I don't care what anyone else says. Like, not free from consequences. You should never kill someone over saying something. Never. Never, 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 never. Words can hurt, but you don't have to be around that person. You don't have to be friends with that person. You should never kill someone for having an opinion with their mouth. Or having an opinion at all. But anyways, I've looked into more stuff that he said, and those past videos about Charlie Kirk were more like praising him. I just want to make this video to say, like, Charlie Kirk wasn't perfect, okay? Like, I don't agree. The main thing that I agree with him on is conservative social values, like anti-abortion, pro-life, anti-LGBTQ, I still think because we live in a democracy, not a theocracy, if the masses of people in America want to make gay marriage legal, then they should have the right to do that. I'm against the controversial take here, and I don't hate people who are Catholic, but I'm against all that type of stuff. I'm against, how Christianity has gone into Catholicism. I'm against the church and the state coming together. I'm against Christianity being in the government and being like how it was with Israel. Even God told Israel, like, I am your king. You do not want to have a human king. It'll be bad. And they were like, every other nation has a human king. Why can't we have a human king? And God was like, all right, whatever. And it was bad. Don't get me wrong, they had some good kings, but because humans are imperfect, it was bad. But anyways, nobody's perfect, and honestly, some of the stuff Charlie Kirk said about race, and again, although I agree with his pro-life and anti-LGBTQ stances, we're called to love people. We're called to hate the sin, not the sinner. And we're called to preach the truth boldly, but with passion, but with love. You can preach the truth boldly with passion, but you have to love the person. And some of the stuff Charlie Kirk said was demonizing the other side. Like saying gay people are groomers and they want to corrupt your children and all this stupid stuff. Or how he was saying, like, Martin Luther King Jr. was a horrible person, and the civil rights movement was horrible because it caused more division. Like, what are you talking about? The white people started the division in the first place. Never mind. So I don't agree with everything. And is it possible that Charlie Kirk is in heaven? Yes, because he may have not been perfect, but he professed faith in Jesus Christ. He never actually said or outwardly thought of himself as hating homosexuals or hating transgenders or being a racist white supremacist. In fact, I have also seen evidence of him not hating gay and trans people, and I've also seen evidence of him not hating black people or minorities. He was very divisive, and he said a lot of things that he shouldn't have said that demonized other people. Doesn't make it right, but it also doesn't mean he deserves to die. Okay? That's my view on Charlie Kirk. Flawed individual as we all are. Didn't agree with everything he said, except for mainly the traditional biblical values on pro-life and, the sanctity of marriage and a man and a woman. And everything else, and the only thing I disagree with him on, like I said, is his views on race, his views on all that other stuff, you know. And although I don't disagree with his views on abortion and LGBTQ, I disagree with how he handled it. I disagree with how he talked about gay and trans people and how he talked about black people. And even if he wasn't trying to be racist, like, come on. Like, even if you don't believe systemic racism is still around today, read a history book. Systemic racism was 100% around in the 1960s. And Martin Luther King Jr. did not start the division. In fact, they were peaceful. They literally, they would literally go to places in the South, peacefully march, peacefully sit there, and the white people would just throw stuff at them and be horrible to them. Like, I forget what it's called, but they went down to the South, and they went into, like, this all-white restaurant, and the black people, they dressed up in suits and ties, had short hair, all that. They walked into the restaurant, and they sat down at the stools, and the white waitress was like, the white waitress or waiter was like, I'm not going to serve you guys, and because they're black. And they were like, well, we're going to sit here until you serve us. They sat there peacefully, sitting there, being completely peaceful, not doing anyone any harm, just sitting there being nice, upstanding American citizens. And the white people started throwing things at them, like, I was watching it, they were, like, pouring ice cream on them, throwing things at them, cussing them out, calling them the N-word and all this stuff. Like, they're just black people sitting there being nice. And there's a lot of great black preachers and all this stuff. I'm rambling. I don't agree with everything Charlie Kirk said, but he didn't deserve to die, and he could be in heaven right now. So God bless you.